We are in such a conducive startup environment that every day we feel like starting our own venture, isn't it so? If you are a mid-management guy, or if you have certain friends who have their own small startups or enterprises, you get inspired by them on a daily basis and you really want to do something about it, right? You might have tons of ideas when you watch the TV series like Shark Tank, or you read some stories on Your Story, etc. You get inspired by those people and you want to be one of those, standing there with your own idea and getting the funding and making your business big. Wonderful, there's nothing wrong in it. It must be like this. But what's important for us is to understand, why do so many startups fail? As Chanakya said, that one life is too short to understand and learn from your own mistakes. Rather, you should learn from others' mistakes. So I think in this information age, we have ample opportunity to learn from what others did not right and failed, right? So let's understand, there's a lot of data on internet which you can, run through, read the blogs, and you'll find plenty of very valuable information. I'm trying to summarize few important points which I believe you would connect with. 4 P's of marketing. Number 1 is product, number 2 is price, number 3 is place, number 4 is promotion. So basically you need to understand what product you are going to launch, at what price point it is buyable by the people or the customers or the consumers, where you are going to launch, which is the segment looking for it, and how you are ensuring that it reaches everyone. Now, number 1 reason why startups fail: compelling product. And when I say compelling product, people think about product as hardware. No, may not be. It could be a service. But you must understand, are you solving a problem? You hear any major entrepreneur, they will say that, this was a problem and I solved it. For example, ID, dosa maker, right? So they solved the problem of making a round dosa, a pancake. Nobody else could. And they feel that they are going to be successful. I don't know what are the business figures right now, but that was a problem. But was that a problem of scale? That's a question mark for me. So you must understand whether you are really solving a problem or not. And see, there are 1 or 2 grocery startups which came up initially, and then there is a suite of startups which followed the same business model. So were they solving the same problem again and again? No. Second thing was re-engineering the solution. So everybody solved the same problem, rather the problem was already solved, but they repackaged the product or they re-engineered the solution so that it becomes more viable for the consumers, easy for consumers, simplified for consumer, right? So either you must be solving a problem or you must be re-engineering a solution which is much more acceptable by the consumer, and that takes you one step closer to your startup's success. Number 2, very important, is to understand our competition, that in this field where I am going to venture out, how many people are already there, how many are successful, how many are failure, and those who failed, why did they fail? If you understand that, you probably would not be committing the same mistakes, and that increases your chances of becoming little more successful than what you were expecting probably. Number 3, team. You have a wonderful set of people who have got a brilliant technical mind. They can engineer the product like anything. But then if you do not have somebody who understands the micro and macro economics and how it is going to work in the market, if you do not have somebody who understands the ground reality and the ground operations, you may not be as successful, or you may fail earlier than you were expecting, right? Because these are the 3 pillars. You need to have the right operations, right finances, and the right ground touch. Of course, this is built on top of the foundation of your idea, right? So if you have these 3 pillars in place as a part of your team, the chances are much higher that you succeed. The next thing is scalability and sustainability. See, you open up a shop, you start it with a certain number of products, with a certain number of investment, you sell it, you start getting some money, but you cannot continue the same cycle with same level of revenue. You have to ultimately grow. Otherwise, you're not going to sustain, because inflation will be at 10%, you might be growing at 1% or 0%. That is not going to be sustainable. And to become more sustainable, you have to scale up. If you scale up your business, your revenue stream increases, the volume increases, and then you basically start earning little more profit, and then you can think of expanding a little more. So it's very important to understand the scalability part of it. One important thing which we may not even have control, it could be any catastrophic event like flood or anything which you really do not have, or demonetization for some cases. You may not have control, and you would have probably figured out your business model on certain revenue stream and that suddenly stopped. So you cannot help that, right? But of all these events, one of the foundational things which you must take care of is that as a startup mindset, as a owner of a new venture or a business, your passion should be live, at least in your team, because if you lose the passion, you will not be able to motivate the people who are working for you and around you. And if they lose that interest, thinking that, oh my god, this guy who started it himself does not believe in his own idea to be successful, what am I doing here? I must leave. And that's where things fall apart. So if we understand these basic things like compelling value proposition of the product, we should not be over optimistic. We should do our full research on the market, what's needed, where it is needed, what's the segment who's going to buy it, what price point we believe it's going to be successful, how much money I'm going to invest in my marketing plans, right? And then how the economics are going to work and how am I going to scale up. That vision is a must. Then you can definitely have a very strong beginning, and its sustainability depends upon your passion. So I hope you could connect with these thoughts, and if you're thinking of starting something new, it could be anything, right? But do give it a try, because the learning which you get is priceless. So go ahead with it. Wishing you good luck. Rohit Chopra from your Mind Coach.